Hello guys, welcome to another video. Like always, this story doesn't belong to me, and the link to the original post will be in the description. So if you read the full story for yourself, you can go and do that. And yeah, that being said, let's get into the video. The Son of the Sannin, Chapter 1 and Part 1. Unconventional family, or foxes, toads, and slugs. Jiraiya stood in front of the gates of Konoha, contemplating the place that it had been his home for such a long time. That's it, until Orochimaru's betrayal and Tsunade's self-improved elixir made it unbearable for the Toad Sage to continue living there. He never had a permanent home for that moment onward, hopping from one town to another, doing his research and having one night stands with beautiful and easy to charm women. He only returned shortly to pay a visit to his student and friend Minato Namikaze. It has been 3 months since the last, and now last of those visits. They talked about Jiraiya's failed book, The Tales of the Katsu Ninja, and how Minato wanted to name his firstborn son after the main character of said book, Naruto. In the meantime, Jiraiya wrote his first erotic novel, Icha Icha Paradise, which became a bestseller in no time. Engrossing his already large bank account, he had been planning to drop by once the kid was born in order to give the newborn some give the newborn some nice gifts. In fact, he was on his way to Konoha when a Korean ninja arrived and told him about the tragic news, and that his presence was required in the village. Upon reading the letter with all the details, at first he thought it was some sort of tailless joke, but the letter he was carrying had the stamp of the Hokage's office, and now, just as he stood in front of the gates, he realized it wasn't a joke, as he had secretly hoped. Even from the outside, Jiraiya could tell that Konoha had been victim of a devastating attack recently, which was confirmed the moment that the toast sage walked into the village. The streets were nearly empty, destroyed buildings left and right, tails of smoke coming everywhere. The grey sky wrapped to reflect the smoke barrier and this depressing mood the village seemed to be in. Jiraiya hurried towards the Hokage's tower. Hokage's tower. Hiruzen Sarutobi was in his former soon to be his once again office as he have Siruzen was in his former soon to be his once again office as he estimated mindingly looked through the window lamentably. The current state Konoha was in. An envoy appeared behind him. Hokage-sama, Jiraiya-sama is here as you requested, the envoy announced. The third turned around and sighed. Tell him to come in, please. As you say, the envoy said before disappearing in a cloud of smoke. A few seconds later, the white-haired Sannin walked into the office. Hiruzen couldn't help but smile a little upon seeing his old students. Hello, Jiraiya. It's good to see you again, even if it's under such awful circumstance. How was your trip here? Hiruzen said as he sat down on his chair. Not to be rude, but that matters very little now. It is that true sensei? Is that true sensei? Are Minato and Kushina truly dead? Jiraiya asked, trying to suppress the anguish of his voice. Yes, Jiraiya Jiraiya averted Hiruzen's gaze aside and whispered a profanity. He looked at his former sensei once again and asked, "May I see the bodies?" "You may, but not now. They are underneath urgent matters we need to attend first before you can pay your respect to your students and his wife," Hiruzen gravely said. Matters that concern their son, their son? Where is Naruto now? Is he okay? Jiraiya asked worriedly. Naruto is fine. He's possibly one of the few who came out of it unscathed. Hiruzen said, "I don't know if I would call having a demon sealed inside of him unscathed, Sensei," Jiraiya pointed out. "Not to mention that kid just lost his parents. True. Excuse my lack of tact. And to answer your first question, he is downstairs on the lower floor. A couple of medic ninjas are taking care of him. Now Naruto was the reason I called you here. Because I am his godfather, exactly. According to Minato and Kushina's will, they left everything to Naruto. All their physical assets, such as their house and other properties, as well as their liquid assets, which will be managed by his legal guardian until Naruto comes of age. And according to their will, this person is you, I see." An uncomfortable silence followed Jiraiya's Lenin's answer. Do I suppose that you are up to becoming Naruto's legal guardian and raise him until he's 18, regardless of Minato's will? We can assign another legal guardian if you refuse." Jiraiya found the office tempting offer tempt Jorah found the offer tempting. He had decided long time ago that he would never settle down, that he would throw himself to the pleasure of life. He wandered the world and enjoy it as much as possible. Taking care of a baby would made such things impossible. He would need to stay at a permanent place, more than likely Konoha, since neither Sensei nor the elders would allow the QB out of the village for other nations to take it, and had to prioritize Naruto's need and well-being over everything else. No, the perspective of becoming a single father was everything but alluring. Perspective of becoming a single father was everything but alluring. But then again, if he didn't take care of Naruto, who will? Almost nobody in the village would want to be near Naruto after the Kyuubi's rampage out of prey, and he knew that other people would try to turn him into a weapon, depriving him of a normal childhood. No, he had a moral responsibility towards Naruto. Nobody else would want to take care of Naruto and raise him like a normal child but him. Jiraiya soon would learn how wrong he was. He was about to give his sensei an answer when shout from outside the office drew both men's attention. "Miss, I'm sorry, but Hokage-sama is in a meeting. You cannot disturb him now," a male voice said, which Jiraiya vigorously recognized as the Anbu he has been talking to. "Do you know who I am? I'm sure that Sensei will make time for me once he is one of his old students," a female voice angrily replied, a voice Jiraiya knew too well. "Oh my, I didn't expect her to come so soon, or to come at all," Sarutobi said, visibly worried. "What is she doing here?" Jiraiya asked, equally worried. "You see, Hokage-sama's guest is also another one of the old students and—" "What? Get out of my way!" Boom! Jiraiya and Sarutobi winched as they both hope that the poor Anbu wasn't too hurt. The office's door slammed open and a big busty blonde burst in. She fixed her eyes on Jiraiya and Slinard. She then looked at Sarutobi with anger in her eyes. Oh, Kami, I knew it. You are going to do it. Tsunade alarming my Tsunade harming my Anbu and breaking into my office like that is not an appropriate thing to do, Ryuzen said calmly. Oh, Kenneth, Sensei, I came here to stop you from making a huge mistake, Tsunade said angrily, and that mistake would be leaving a child under the care of this maniac. Tsunade said, pointing at Jiraiya. I'm fine. Tsunade him thank you for asking. The toad said in a depressed tone, earning another glare from his former teammate. I see. I suppose that you have a better candidate in mind. Sarutobi asked, in, in, interrogated. Interrogated. You are damn right. I myself would make a much better caretaker than his scumped writer. That's fine, but you don't have any legal basis for claiming Naruto's guardianship. I am his godfather and Minato left Naruto under my care. Should something happen to him and Kushina, Jiraiya retorted. Yes, I have. Naruto's my family. Yeah, sure. And I am the grandnephew of the sage of the six paths. It's true, you moron. Kushina was an Uzumaki just like Mito, my grandmother. I am Naruto's only family and thus I have a greater claim to be his guardian. While I admitted I am no expert when it comes to parenthood, I am pretty sure that taking care of a baby costs money, lots and lots of money. And last time I checked, you were hundreds by quite hounded by quite a few clients. I am aware that Minato had quite some money on his bank account. I can use that to cover Naruto's expenses. Yeah, if you don't blow up on a casino again, Jiraiya angrily said and turned to his former master. Sensei, you can't seriously leave Naruto under this compulsive gambler. I do have experience raising children. I have been raising Shizune. I have been raising Shizune since she was a little girl, and she turned out fine. Tsunade said before Sarutobi could answer. Even my flaws, there's no way. Even with my flaws, there's no way I can't be worse than Jiraiya. All right, I heard enough. Hiruzen said, raising his voice and slamming his hands on the desk, making his former student to shut up. Both of you have a good point, and I'm sure you can reach a compromise. What kind of compromise? Asked Tsunade. Shared custody. Not exactly. It's obvious that you want what's best for Naruto, so why don't raise him together? You can cover each other's weaknesses, and I'm sure that Naruto will benefit better if he has both of you taking care of him instead of just one of you. But that means that we will have to live together. Jiraiya said he didn't like where this was going. Yes, of course, but we are not a couple. What the hell are we supposed to do? Permanent, permanent that we're a happy marriage. Pretend that we are a happy married. We are a happy married couple for Naruto's sake. Tsunade pondered. You don't have to pretend anything. If it puts your mind at ease, think of each other as being roommates with a couple common interest or teammates fulfilling a long-term mission, Hiruzen said, hoping this solution would ap- appraise Happy is both Sannin. I don't know if this little meeting didn't make it obvious enough, but Tsunade Hime and I aren't exactly on friendly terms. Jiraiya mentioned, yeah, I saw, but there was a little time in which you would take a kunai to the gut for the other. I have faith you will mend your relationship at least for Naruto's sake. Sarutobi said. I'm not that easy, Sensei. Tsunade said. Hiruzen sighed heavily. I never said it was. It's not that easy, Sensei. Tsunade said. Hiruzen sighed heavily. I never said it was easy. Listen, I have been aware of the levers you have been lives, aware of the lives you have been living after you left Konoha, and frankly, you had me worried. For what I could see, all what you did is try to run away from your personal demons, including in superficial pleasure for shallow comfort. But I can tell that neither of you have been happy, regardless of how much you might try to deny it. Well, we all have lost somebody dear to us. I myself lost my beloved wife and many other friends to the QB a few days ago. Yet here I am, taking the mantle of the Hokage once again. I am not saying that we are all the same, or that you shouldn't deal with grief, but how long has it been since both of you left? 6, maybe more? I think it's about time you two start moving on. You can think of this as an opportunity, a new, fresh start, a chance to do something great. Don't you think it's about time we stop wandering around the world aimlessly wasting our lives in vain pleasure and start doing something productive with our lives again? Both of you wanted to take care of Naruto. If that's the case, show me that you are worth him. Show me that you are able to not let your demons to get in the way of rekindling your friendship. Show me show me that the great and powerful Sannin, the ninjas I helped to shape, are still there. Instead of gambling and pretending before instead of the gambler and the pervert before me. A deafening silence followed Sarutobi's speech. Both Sanin wanted to reply, but they just were unable to. They couldn't help they couldn't find the right words, any words. They glared at each other, hoping that the other would have a clear reply that would get them out of admitting that their sensei was right. But there was none. Jiraiya sighed in defeat. There was no way out of here. Okay, I am willing to raise Naruto together. What do you say? Tsunade had claimed calmed down a bit and looked just as passive as Jiraiya. Alright, if this is what I have to do so I can be with my only family, but don't dare get any ideas. Understood? Tsunade said, pointing an aggressive finger at him. Jiraiya raised his hands in defense. Hey, I didn't say anything. You all see that I can be a perfect gentleman. And you will see that I can be a perfect gentleman. You better be. Then it's settled, Sarutobi said, visibly satisfied as he stood up from his desk. Now, would you like to see Naruto? They didn't need to answer. Sarutobi guided his two former students to a room in the lower floor in which a teen girl was being instructed by one of the who medic ninjas how to hold Naruto. At the girl's feet there was a small pig wearing a maroon jacket, and pearl necklace. I see that you're getting to know Naruto, Shizune. Tsunade said when she saw her apprentice. Oh, Tsunade-sama, did you get Naruto's custody? Shizune said, smiling at her. Yeah, more or less. Tsunade replied, more or less? What does that mean? I got joint custody with Jiraiya over here. Tsunade said as he mentioned to follow to her fellow Sannin. We will be living together from now onwards. Oh, you are Jiraiya-sama, the teen girl asked. I'm so glad to meet you. Tsunade-sama told me a lot about you. Shizune! Tsunade shouted. Really? That's nice to hear. And exactly what did she say about me? Jiraiya asked, a perverted grin. Wipe that grin off your face, you pervert. The first thing we are going to do once we settle is to establish a series of rules to make sure we have a total we have a total level coexistence. You got that? Of course, him. You know I would hate to do something to get on your bad side. That's good to hear. So, shall we move to Minato's old house already? Actually, I don't think that's a good idea. Hiruzen intervened. Come on. Come again? You see, Minato had a lot of enemies that would love to get revenge on him through his son. So I would believe that I would believe that we should keep Naruto's I believe that we should keep Naruto's existence as well as his parentage and his condition as a Jinchuriki, a secret outside of Konoha's wall. That's why I think we should sell all of Minato and Kushina's properties and use that money to buy a new house for the four of you to live in. Also, I think that we should give Naruto his mother's name instead. But since Naruto has the right to know who his parents are, we would make a division to Minato's and Kushina's memory. Disservice we would make a disservice to Minato and Kushina's memories. Jiraiya calmly protested. I guess you got a point there, Jiraiya. Alright, for the time being, you can tell Naruto that his parents were powerful ninjas who died the night of the QV's attack, but keep their names a secret for the time being. Same goes with the QV. Sorry, Sensei, but I have to disagree there as well. You simply can't keep such a thing secret from him, especially since the rest of the village knows about it already. Jiraiya protested once again. It's for his own protection. How being ignorant to the credibility dangers being inside him is going to protect him exactly. Jiraiya didn't bother to hide his skippy teams. Listen, I want Naruto to have a normal life. That's what his parents would have wanted. Naruto carries a heavy burden on his shoulders, but he shouldn't be aware of it yet. That's why I am going to enact a law in order to forbid the QB from ever being mentioned by either ninja or civilians under penalty of immediate execution. Let me tell you why that's an ominous, stupid idea. Jiraiya replied. Sarutobi couldn't help but feel outrage at Jiraiya's bluntness. Your situation on your situation amounts to ignore the your solution amounts to ignore the QB. We can ignore it, but that wouldn't make the QB disappear, and everybody else knows that. Forbidding people from talking about the QB might protect Naruto to some extent, but it wouldn't make people forget that the QB is still inside him, not stopping them from seeing Naruto as a bomb ready to go off at any moment. Even if that's true, how can Naruto have a normal life then? Let's face the facts. Such a thing is impossible. Naruto wouldn't have a normal life. Tsunade intervenes. Both Jiraiya and Sarutobi turned at her in surprise. Not that that's a bad thing, though. Normal doesn't and it doesn't have to mean happy. Jiraiya and I will ensure that Naruto's childhood is as fulfilled as possible. Thanks for backing me up, him. Jiraiya said, smiling at her. I am just stating the truth. But if his generation grows up knowing that Naruto carries the demon fox, it might alert their preparation of him and will judge him unfairly. It will be nearly impossible for him to make friends. Sarutobi interjected once again. Tell me, Sensei, do you think anybody would let their children near Naruto knowing what he's holding inside? At the very at the very least, with all the facts, the children will be able to judge Naruto by themselves, and if they are unable to differentiate between the prisoner and its jailer, then they aren't worth his time. Jiraiya said. You seem very sure of yourself, Jiraiya. Are you sure this wouldn't backfire? I wouldn't be lying if I said I was 100% sure, but I would be lying if I said I was 100% sure, but I do believe that it is the best option. Let's have faith that the new generation will accept Naruto and wouldn't judge him unfairly. You always drilled into our head the importance of protecting the next generation. If we protect them, then we can place some trust in them, right? Sarutobi spent a few moments silent, pondering Jiraiya's word. A smile slowly crept his wrinkled face, and soon the old ninja was laughing, much to his students' be amusement. To think that I just had one of my teaching used against me. Yeah, I guess that's your proved your point, Jiraiya. There will be no special law regarding Naruto. You two will be tasked with his protection and well-being, and we will have faith that Naruto will be accepted among his peers, regardless of his burden. Sarutobi said, "There's one more thing I would like to talk about. Even if I can guess your answer, there is a chance that you may rejoin Konoha's ninja ranks again. Even if I can guess your answer, is there a chance that you may rejoin Konoha's ninja ranks again? Besides getting back two of the most powerful ninja Konoha ever produced, Hiruzen was hoping that the return of the Sannin would help bolster the incredible low morale of Konoha's citizens. Sorry, but no. I came back here to take care of my only blood family left, not to be a killer and revive painful memories." Tsunade promptly stated, "I am with her. I left the ninja life behind. I am a writer now. We will get involved with Naruto's trainings once he is old enough." He was about to add, "Should Naruto choose to become a ninja?" He was about to add, "Should Naruto choose to be a ninja?" But for somebody like Naruto, that wasn't a choice. He would have to be a ninja for his own sake. Both Sannin hoped they would convince him to take that path. But think in all the good you could do. Konoha is in its darkest hour. I will ask you to reconsider." Sarutobi said, almost begging. He knew that if he passed this opportunity, he would never had the chance to convince them to go back to being ninjas again. Here's my counter proposal. I will take a job at Konoha's hospital, and I am willing to even train future medic ninjas, but I am never going to be going back to the battlefield. Tsunade said. Hiruzen seemed to agree with her terms. He then turned to Jiraiya. Now that Tsunade made a conscience, he will have to do one as well. If there's a mission that absolutely nobody else can do, you can call me, was the Toad's offer. And also, my spy network is at your service. Good to see that I can count on both of you, even if it is on such terms, even if it was tragic criticism that made you return. I'm glad to have you two back on Konoha, Sarutobi said in a heartfelt manner. Then it's all settled. When do we move in? Tsunade impended. 3 weeks later, neither Jiraiya nor Tsunade had much luggage due to both of them being wanderers and hoped that they could move to a house to begin their new life. However, it took Naruto's new family some time before they could be settled in. With Minato's money, they bought and remodeled a two-story house with a yard had that had been damaged during the Cubi's attack. It needed a lot of work before they could live on it, such as giving the front a paint job, replacing broken glass, fixing the pump pummeling and the electricity, and moving out the previous occupants' possessions, who had sadly died during the QV attack and were going to be given to their closest relative. While they worked on the house, they were forced to live in an improvised shelter for other people who also lost their homes to the QV. Still, after weeks of work, they were ready to move in. Jiraiya had called dibs on getting up on dibs on setting up Naruto's bedroom, despite Tsunade's very loud protest. In the end, she had retained and allowed the Toad Sage to have his way. The fact that he locked the door and didn't allow anybody to enter until he was done was enough to raise an alarm on the blonde's head. As Jiraiya was getting ready to show Suzune Naruto's new room, Tsunade couldn't help but have a feeling of overwhelming regret. Alright, here it is, Jiraiya said as he opened the door. Tsunade braced herself for the worst. What do you think? Tsunade said to admit that it wasn't as bad as she expected. The original white walls were decorated with milieu of beautiful forest and mountain with small toads on them. There was a toad-shaped crib on a corner with a few shuffled toads on it, carved toads on it, a desk and an empty wardrobe with toad covers on its door, carved toads carved on its door. While I find the amount of toad excessive, at least at the very least, you had enough taste not to put any poster of a half-naked girl. Tsunade said in approval. Oh, those will come when he gets older, Jiraiya said, and he was suddenly hit by a wave of killer intents coming from Tsunade and her ward. I mean, of course not. I know I can be perverted, but I don't know that there are some things not to appreciate for children, appropriate for children. Good to hear. They had to spend the rest of the day buying food, clothes, especially for Naruto, diapers, and other baby items. By the time they were finished, it was night time, and the three of them were exhausted. Tsunade placed Naruto on his grave and went to sleep along with Jiraiya and Shizune. While it took no time for Tsunade and Shizune to fall asleep, Jiraiya remained awake. His head asked the same question time after time. Would have been any different if I was in the village when the QV attacked? Based on the details Sarutobi had been willing to share of the tragic night, Jiraiya's mind went over and over with the possible scenarios of how that night would have ended if he was there. He spent an hour torturing himself by wondering if he would have been able to save at least one of Naruto's parents. Stop doing that, Jiraiya. You couldn't know something like that would happen. Something like that would happen. The only thing you can do is take care of Naruto to the best of your abilities, the Sannin told himself. Then he got up and quietly went to Naruto's bedroom, making sure he didn't make any noise that would awaken the three people living under that roof. Jiraiya leaned onto the crib and looked at the infant laying there. Hey there, little guy, how are you doing? Jiraiya said in a whisper. Naruto shifted in his sleeping state. Don't worry, I know that you had to go through a lot, but the nightmare is already over. Tsunade Hime and I are here to take care of you, and we will make sure that everything will be fine. Joraya continued to look at the sleeping baby. I can tell you a secret. Don't tell Tsunade or Shizune because they would get really mad if they knew. But I have plans for you. Great plans. Once I am done with you, you will be the biggest forward Konoha has ever seen. I will teach you everything I know, so no girls will be able to resist your charms. You will be legend only second. You will be a legend only second to yours truly. Oh yeah, and yeah, you will be a great. Oh yeah, you will be a great ninja too. I guess that's important as well. Eh, that's all for the first part. I hope you enjoyed it and support this series. But yeah, that's all for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye bye.